Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Ramadan Storytime with Sister Marsha. I'm so glad that you could join me today. We are still in our blessed month of Ramadan, and in this month, I hope that you are experiencing all the beauty that the month has to offer. I hope that you all had a great day. I look forward to reading tonight's story to you. And tonight's story comes to us again from the My First Quran storybook series, published by Good Word Books and authored by Sunny Yasmin Khan. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into our story. Tonight's story is titled The Prophet Musa's People Disobey Allah. My First Quran storybook, the best treasured stories from the Quran. The Prophet Musa's people disobey Allah. The Prophet Musa, alayhi salam, and what does that mean? Yes, upon him be peace. The Prophet Musa was coming down the mountain. He was very happy. Musa knew that Allah had just spoken to him. He gave him the tablets with his commandments. Musa wanted to tell this good news to his people. The Prophet Musa hurried down the mountain slope. He could see the tents of his people in the distance. In no time, he reached the tents in which his people lived. And what did Musa see? In the empty space between the tents, a big crowd had gathered. And in the middle of the crowd, there was a calf made of gold. The people were bowing down to the golden calf. Musa looked at the golden calf. He looked at his people bowing to the calf, and he became very angry. Musa, alayhi salam, put down the tablets which Allah had given him. Then he called his brother Harun. And in English, we would say Aaron. He became very angry with him. Why did you let our people forget Allah? Harun said, the people did not listen to me. They almost killed me when I told them to remember Allah. Musa turned to Allah and prayed, my Lord, forgive my brother. Forgive me. You are the most merciful. Musa, alayhi salam, picked up the tablets and held them high. He showed the tablets to his people. He told them that Allah had given these tablets to him. And so Musa was very angry, as you just heard. The people that he had left to go up to the mountaintop had changed, their worship from worshiping Allah to worshiping this calf. And so when Musa came back, this is what he discovered. So let's figure out what happens afterward. Read what is written. These are his commandments. His commandments will guide us. Ask Allah to forgive you for your sins. Pray to him and ask Allah to forgive you for your sins. Pray to him and Allah forgave them. He said, I punish whom I want, but I am merciful to all. Allah rewards those who love him, and he punishes the wicked men. He also forgives those who pray for forgiveness. And that is our story for this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, tonight's story comes to us from the My First Quran storybook series, and this one was again about the Prophet Musa. And this one talks a little bit about what the people did when he left them to go to the top of the mountain. And this one was titled The Prophet Musa's People Disobey Allah. And in their disobedience, we learned that they worshiped the calf, a golden calf, which was an inanimate object. And when we say inanimate, we mean that it does not have any sort of animation. It cannot move. It's just a piece of, right, for all intents and purposes, it's a piece of gold, right? They talked about the golden calf. So it was just a piece of gold carved into this calf, and they chose to worship that instead of Allah. And the Prophet Musa encouraged them to ask Allah for forgiveness. And we learned that if we sincerely ask Allah for forgiveness, then He will forgive us. But Allah also does not like those who disobey. So we have to be sincere and intentional about our asking for forgiveness. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for Ramadan Storytime with Sister Marsha. We are in our last 10 days of the month of Ramadan, and I hope that it is a beautiful last 10 days. We all have either, depending on when we started fasting, we all have experienced or observed the night of power. And so I hope that Allah is answering your prayers, and I hope that you come out of Ramadan a better person and knowing a little bit more or even a lot more about your faith, having a better relationship with Allah, and moving forward towards all your dreams, goals, and aspirations. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. See you for the next story time.